Welcome to the second half of KISS Community Connections at 103.1. And you know what? I'm still here. So let's jump to a new subject. We know in 2020, a whole lot of things are going to happen. I mean, a whole lot of things are going to happen. 2020 is going to be like the year of decision making, things happening, knowledge, some control. It's a whole bunch going on. We're going to talk about one important thing that's going to happen that will impact everything else. Sounds kind of weird, right? Right. Okay, we know every 10 years we have to do the U.S. Census, and we do. So in 2020 will be the 10 years. Time for the U.S. Census to be done. It will start April 1st. I know April 1st, there are all days for the census to start, but it does. It starts April 1st. The census will come out. In years past, you got someone knocked on the door, and he did the census. Then it moved on till you got a letter in the mail to do the census, and you mail it back. Well, this year there's been an added. You also be able to do the census online. So you have three ways: in your mailbox, online, and all else fails, that person knocking on your door. But about the census is this: number one, the census is for everyone to take. The census is not supposed to, because I'm not going to say it's not, because with our government, we don't know. But whether you're here legally or not, the census is not supposed to be able to say, oh, yep, they're not here right, and they got to go. But the census is actually to take an account of all the people that live in your house. And it's not just your house. It's to take account of the amount of people that live everywhere. So that count goes a lot of different ways. First of all, that count goes to how much money the government gives your city. That's some of this money. That's some of the means of the census, because your city gets money based on the number of people you have. So the census is for one of those purposes too. Also, the census lets the federal government know who's moving where, who lives where, and it's not where you live. As you want to say, I live on A Street. No. Is what area. I'll stay in Killeen. What area of Killeen has grown? Well, we know Killeen is growing south rapidly, but it lets you know what area of Dallas is growing, where these areas are growing, because that's also important as far as funding is concerned. So your census is more than just who lives in your house and how many people are there. Your census is tied to money, and it's the money that your state will get from the federal government as far as everything is concerned. So when we don't do the census, that knocks off a count of people that we have. It knocks it off way down, and it becomes an issue. The other part about the census is it's tied to elections. Yeah, I know. How in the heck does it get tied there? Well, it does. Because let's just use Bell County. All right. Bell County is divided up into a number of congressional districts. The senatorial and our legislators is broken up into districts. Now, when your city grows in a certain direction, and that direction has caused this area to be larger, then what they're going to do is redistrict you, which means they're going to take the lines and move them over, move them up, move them back, move them right, move them left, whichever way they need to create an equal district, or gerrymandering starts, and gerrymandering is when they redistrict people out, which means, let's just say, the city of, I'm going to use Temple since we're in Temple. Let's say one area of Temple was affluent, totally affluent. But when redistricting, some of the area of Temple of the non-affluent moved over, and through the census, we found out that they're in this area right now, but they're further down the street. Well, these people here going to contact their legislators, and everybody's going to look and go, wait a minute, hold up. We want to keep this area looking like it does. So instead of sliding these people in it, we're going to take this group of people who are not affluent like this group of people, and we're going to move them over here to the right instead of to the left where they need to be. or we're going to put some more people in this affluent area district so that they can be larger within themselves. So that's called gerrymandering. And then, like I said, redistricting has to happen because we know areas of our cities has moved. You live in Killeen, you know, South is growing and growing and growing. So naturally, there's going to be some redistricting done because it is growing. Bell County as a whole is growing. So we know our county as a county in general is going to be some redistricting. To which that you need to pay attention to. Because that redistricting affects your voting. Because I don't know where I live in Killeen. I used to live in one district. Then Killeen did some redistricting, and I live in another district right now. So the person next door to me lives in one district, and I live in the other. And it's right next door. And that's how they cut it. But they did it. And people, when they went to vote for this one person. I'm like, no, you can't vote for him. You got to vote for him or him. You can't vote for him. He's not in there. You know, and they looked at me like, what do you mean? Last year, I voted for him. I know you might have voted for this person last year or 2 years ago, but this year you can't because you got redistricted. They didn't know they got redistricted. They didn't know. So on the city line, they was like, what are we going to do? We'll study this candidate. They studied this candidate over here in one district. They studied them, went to everything, went to all meetings he had, went to everything he had. But election day, when they came to vote for the city, they weren't in that district. They was in somebody else's district who they didn't know. I mean, you know, they knew the person was running, but they didn't pay attention to that person because it wasn't their district, wasn't their area, so they didn't pay attention. So you know what? I said, well, you still want to vote? No, they didn't vote. They did not vote. They was like, well, forget it. If I can't vote for him, I'm not voting. That was bad. That was very bad. Because those were 2 votes. No, in fact, there was more than 2 people, but those were some votes that were lost because people were redistricted by the city and didn't realize it. Does the city have to redistrict? Yes, it does. When it grows too far in one direction, they have to redistrict. Was it in the paper? Yes. Did they make a big deal out of it in the paper? No. I think the city did not want a big deal made out of it because what was going to happen? Because like I said, this one man came to vote, followed one person, couldn't vote for him because they had moved him. He walks out. So he walked completely out. So someone else won in that district who might not have won had everybody known about that they were redistricting, got to study the right candidate. So when redistricting begins, you need to pay attention because your congressional district can change, your senatorial district, all those can change. And you got to believe if you live in a city, in an area where it has grown within the past 10 years, you're going to be redistricted. They're going to draw some new lines. And that's when our voices need to be heard. Right now, if you're politically astute or you're politically minded, you need to contact your legislator and ask for a map. You want to know your legislative map. You want to know what your legislative map looks like for your district. You want to know what it looks like right now. Right now, you need to get a map from them, look at it, make sure you study it and know it. And when redistricting comes in, you want to take that map and lay it over the map you have and see exactly what's going on. You need to see what's going on. Now, right now, with Texas will gain 5 congressional seats. Texas as a whole, as a state, because it's growing that far. So the question would be, those 5 congressional seats, where are they going? Where are they going to be? Who's going to have them? You might say, I don't care right now, but yes, you do, because you're a congressperson you care about. So those seats, where are they going to be? Coryell County is going to be redistricted? Yes. In 10 years, it's grown. It has grown. So will they be redistricted? Yeah. So who are they going to lose and who are they going to gain? Think about it. Because like I said, when the game changes, you got to change with it because your people going to change. What I mean, the people you're going to change, whoever your legislator is right now, might not be next time. Might be, might not be, but you need to check. The congressperson you had might not be your congressperson. I don't know if you remember, but at one time, Chet Edwards was the congressperson around here. And he was good. He was big. He did what he did. But all of a sudden, Whoop! Some people came in and redrew that map and they drew him right out of it. Drew him clean out of the area that he was in. He had total population control voting interest. He got drawn. They drew him right on out, and we didn't say anything about it. We didn't do anything about it. You know why? Because we weren't up on that yet. We weren't up on that. We were not watching. If we weren't watching, we weren't looking, and that's what happened. So we lost one congressman who cared about our community, and we ended up with another one. So that happened through redistricting. And once again, we're going to go through redistrict again. And if we don't pay attention and if we don't fight the fight, what happened to us before will happen to us again. And we'll sit back and go, what happened? Well, what happened is, one, you didn't pay attention. What happened, number two, is you didn't think about it. And we just rolled over. Well, like I said, so from the census comes money, but with the census will come redistricting. And you got to remember, there's an election, 2020 coming up next year, the presidential election. They're going to be trying to draw some fast lines. You better believe they're going to do some fast line drawing. Because what's up this year, not only will you vote for the president, you're going to vote for who's Congress. You're voting for the U.S. Senate. You're voting for all the top people in 2020. So is redistricting going to affect you? You better believe it's going to affect you. Are you going to have to be ready for this fight? Yes. Because this year in 2020, next year I'm saying, sorry about that, it's going to be more than it is from the past 10 years. It's going to be more. So this year, you're going to have to, first of all, remember to do the census. Remember to fill it out online, on the phone, mail. If you don't want the person to come to your house, just fill it out and get it over with so they won't come to your house. Remember that, if you're not here, if you're here, you're not supposed to be here, it won't show up on the census. They're not supposed to use this information against you. So I'm not saying they're not, because you never get me on that one. But they're not supposed to use it as a means to see if you're here legally or not. So that's not supposed to happen. Hopefully it doesn't. But remember, it's tied to money. It's going to be tied to redistricting. It's going to be tied to gerrymandering. And it's going to change. It's also going to be used with all of that and how you vote next year and who you vote for. Now, it won't change the presidential part because whoever the president is the president. But you got to make sure that those congressional lines are sound. Those senatorial lines, sound. And remember, your legislators also, you have to make sure that they're sound. You got to make sure that all this is done. Because right now, you better believe they're tabulating. Right now, they're tabulating to see who's where and what lines most likely we got to move. So you figure right now, they're voting on changing us already right now before the census, because everybody knows where everybody's growing. Everybody already knows that. They kind of know that already. It's easy for your legislators and your senators and your Congress people to find out which directions the city has grown. That's easy. That's out there. The exact numbers, no, they don't have them, but they got enough numbers because they're counting houses. So by them doing that, they got an ideal. So right now, the maps being drawn, of course they are. So what are we doing about it? What are you doing right now? Well, guess what? I have a map right now. I have the map. How it looks right now, I got it. I don't like it, but I got it. I had it blown up so that I can actually see the streets, because I need to see more than just a map cutting out a layer. I need to see that. So now I'm going to be ready. So when the next map comes out, after our census is done, I want to be able to lay it over there and go, oh, no, wait a minute, something's wrong. Can we fight it? Of course we can. Do we have to go to court? Yes, we do. We have to do that. So can it be fought and won? Yes, it can. But that means we got to be playing in the game. We got to be some players in this. We can't just sit back and roll over and go, oh, well, however they do it is fine with me. No, it's not. Because look where you are right now. Look what you got right now. Look what you got. Do you have a congressman right now who cares about you? Personally, I would say no. We don't. Does he need us to win? No, he doesn't need us to win. So, but we need to make him we need to make him uncomfortable. It's time to make these candidates a little uncomfortable. I see what you're doing. I got you. When I sent my legislator and I sent him an email and I wanted a map, he sent me the map, and with the little thing of, what do you need a map for? I don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But guess if everybody email your legislator today and tell them you want a map of the district. Just everybody do that. Do you know there will be some nervous legislators around here? Write your congressman and say, email him, hey, I need a congressional map for my area. You imagine what he going to be thinking if everybody did that? Nervous. Why they want this right now? Then they're going to think, wait, they want it for redistricting. Well, hold up, they want it for, oh, wait a minute, hold up. Yeah, then they will become awakened to the fact that you know what's going on. And by you know what's going on, you intend to do something about it. So we need to be on point today. We need to wake up today. We need to do what we're supposed to be doing today. While we checking Facebook and all that, go Facebook your legislators and your congressperson and say, I need a copy of my district map. I need a copy of my congressional map. I need a copy of it. It's their job that you pay. We voted them in. We pay their salary. They owe us whatever we ask for. So let's everybody Facebook your legislators and your congressperson. Email them while you're on your phone, checking your Facebook, checking your email. Check them out too. Hey, this is what I need. I need a map. And like I said, if enough of us start doing those things, they will become uncomfortable because they're going to know that you're up to something. They can't really ask you, what do you want this for? Because they're your elected official. So they can't say, what do you want this for? They can't. When what I'm saying, they can't and expect an answer. They can ask you. Oh, yeah, they can ask you. But to expect an answer, I don't have to give you one if I don't want to. And I might not want to right now. So let's do that. I challenge everybody. Write your legislators, write your congressperson, and ask for a copy of the map. Ask for it. See what they do. Ask for it. Rattle their cages a little bit. But remember, this is all going to start with the census. And also for the census, before we go, if you want to work for the census, before December 1st, go to 2020census.gov/jobs. It's going to take you 30 minutes to fill out the application. The jobs are part-time and full-time. Not all the jobs are knocking on doors, so don't just think that. There are about 16 other jobs within the census that can be done. So remember, 2020census.gov/jobs. Apply. The rate in Killeen is $16.25. That's the rate in our area. Each county has its own rate, which is okay. We won't discuss that. That was set by a lovely federal government. But each county has a different fee, and I understand that due to the sizes of the area. But that's what our area pays. So, like I said, it's not all knocking on doors. There's 16 different jobs within there. They're full-time jobs, part-time jobs. Some jobs only last 30 days. Some jobs will last the whole time. Each job has its own time. But do it before December 1st, because in December 1st is when they're going to start doing the mass hiring. So do it like, when you got 30 minutes that you're not doing nothing, do it. Let everybody else know. And one more time, you're going to go to 2020census.gov/jobs. Pass it on, fill it out over the United States. They've got to hire 500,000 workers. That's a lot of people. But anyway, make sure that you're in that count. If you know someone who would be willing to do so, let them know. Same website, but let's get some of those jobs and to people who need a job, who need a little part-time extra something. But that's the website you need to go to. And remember, all this will kick off with the census. And it will end in November when we go vote. And these new maps are written, and we're stuck looking at them like we're crazy. Well, I want to thank you for listening to Kids Community Connections this morning. I know I gave you a whole bunch of information. So roll up your sleeves, let's get to work, and remember, you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye.